G'day trendsetters, John from Gravel Cyclist. Today I'm reviewing the Quarq TyreWiz, which is a gadget designed to monitor your tyre pressure live from either your smartphone or your suitably equipped Garmin or Wahoo cycling computer. And here we have one half of the TyreWiz pair, and as you can see it's quite diminutive, so hopefully it's focusing okay on the camera, and there's also a little flashing red light. Now I haven't paired this particular TyreWiz with a phone or a computer. First I'm just going to install it, so I start off by removing the existing valve. And then the easy part of the installation, just simply screw in the TyreWiz. Now you want to have a nice tight fit so it has a seal and ideally is somewhat aerodynamic. There you go, one more turn. Ooh, that seems, one more turn. There we go. Okay, next up, install the software and get it set up on the computer or phone. So once you've got your software installed, it will look something like this on your appropriate device. So next we'll need to connect the TyreWiz to the phone. So I'm going to initiate the connection from the phone in a second. And I do that by tapping Connect TyreWiz. And you can see it's found two devices right there. So I'll tap that one right there. It's connecting. Okay, so it's got the front wheel connected. 28.5 psi, 28.6, and I'll connect the rear wheel. Connect. Right, whoops, right there. And okay, so 28.6 and 30.6 respectively. And you may also notice that once both of them are connected, there is a pair code. You'll need that information to actually set up the Garmin computer with the TyreWiz itself. You might be wondering, how does the device know the difference between the front and rear wheels? That's set up by tapping the settings right there. And I told the device, which it actually has a label on it physically, ending in 149 in my case, and I set it to the front wheel. And you can also set things like target PSI, etc. We'll make some suggestions. And there I've got the battery life, the current firmware, etc. So let's just see what it says for suggesting pressure actually. Okay, so I had the software make some suggestions per my spec. So 158 pounds, bike weight of about 20 pounds for this gravel bike I've got here with me, 700cc tyres by 35. Now it's saying the front should be set to 35. Now, you know, the software is just as good as the information it has available, and doesn't know that it's a gravel tyre. So I'd actually would set that tyre to 32 psi. So we'll set the target right here. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, that's good. Tap the back key. Okay. So obviously it's a little bit below the desired range, and for the rear, I'll set that to 35 psi. And if you're wondering, these are Panaracer Gravel King tyres, 700cc by 35 millimeters, and they are tubeless. And I've got orange seal endurance formula sealant inside. You could probably hold this down, but I'm tapping the crap out of it. Alright, brilliant. Okay, go back. Alright, so I need to obviously inflate my tyres. I did inflate these about 5 or 6 days ago, so they're holding there pretty well. Now if you check out the TyreWiz, it's flashing green, so it's ready to go. And also just note there the unique identifier, which is how you'll find it when you go searching for Bluetooth devices. I've got the Garmin 1030 in front of me, and I've already installed the Quarq IQ software for the TyreWiz, so I'm not going to show that part. But I made another screen profile for the 1030, and incidentally I'm reviewing the 1030 at the moment. And I called this screen profile Quarq Tyre, just easier to identify. And what I'm going to do is I need to add the data fields for the TyreWiz itself. So I'm going to go to Activity Profiles, I'm going to go to Quarq Tyre, that's the one I want to play with. And I'm going to go to Data Screens, and I want it on screen 1. And I've got 8 fields, that sounds good, so I tap that. Okay, those 8 fields are great, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the distance field, that's second row, with the tire pressure field for the TyreWiz. So first of all, just acknowledge that I want 8 fields, that's done. Then I tap the distance field, oops, there we go. And to want to change it, so I tap it again. Now, this is where I can select the Quarq IQ, right there. And there you go, TyreWiz is available. Now, right now the TyreWiz has gone to sleep, so I'm going to have to pause for a second and wake her up again. So the TyreWiz has woken up again, and when I say woken up, after a period of inactivity, the devices will put themselves to sleep to save battery power. So as you can see, the left side, that's the front, the right side is the rear, and the tire pressures are just as they were before from the phone. So it's pretty handy. I've ridden quite a few miles with these devices already installed, and it's interesting to see how much the tire pressure changes during the ride. I've seen variances as much as 2 pounds of pressure, negative or positive, from the starting point, which in this case was 32 psi in the front and 35 psi in the rear. And those factors include, weather, like temperature, obviously, etc. So pretty interesting stuff. Now, is the TyreWiz a gadget for your average gravel cyclist? That will be a no, but it will certainly appeal to those riders who are a little more tuned into their tire pressure. I'm also going to assume this is a metric that could be recorded by the Garmin for a further analysis later on. However, the TyreWiz could alert you to a slow leak, which is a bummer when you think about it, but a fix could be enacted before the tyre was completely flat. An inopportune flat tyre can lead to all sorts of potential issues depending where it happened. The one area I see the TyreWiz shining is in the world of World Pro Tour road racing, or even amateur road racing. The average tubular tyre, assuming one that is fitted with a latex tube inside its casing, can easily lose 10 psi of pressure during a long stage of a race. That's a useful condition to keep tabs on. And like I mentioned earlier, seeing a tyre deflate on screen can be useful, particularly if you've got a support car following you behind. Call in the problem over the race radio and voila, you get a new wheel installed. Of course, you'll then have the issue of having to pair your TyreWiz to your phone before you can do anything, so this situation could be a one-time deal. During my review miles or kilometers with the TyreWiz, I've used one set of batteries, but they were factory installed batteries which may have been sitting around for a while. The batteries in question are the CR1632 model, which retail for about $5 US each in most stores. You're best off buying them online for much better savings. Battery life is a claimed 300 hours, and I expect my fresher batteries to go the full distance. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review to be helpful. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video.